Piedmont Triad area weather. We finally have a little rain in the forecast. We also have a heat wave coming in. Plenty of sunshine today. Touch of a southwesterly breeze, our high upper 80s. Clear for the overnight hours, our low 60s. And some low 90s coming our way Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, too. Abundant sunshine during this time. Dry Saturday, the high 93. A chance for showers with a frontal system coming in Sunday. And our Sunday high low 80s. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. For News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.
Afternoons just got better with more guests, more opinions, and more laughs. The Dan Patrick Show.
The spelling is more incorrect. Thom or Geoff?
I'm an anti-Geoff guy.
I'm not much of a Thom
I'm
guy
not a
either.
Thom guy either.
Why add the H? It's Tom, T-O-M.
One of my daughters dated a Geoff, and I never called him Jeff.
At some point, though, it is a conscious decision to be Tom with or without H.
The Dan Patrick Show. This afternoon at 2 on WSJS.
If Pat's Body Shop and Towing on Country Club Road in Winston-Salem ran a spa, it would be a different kind of spa. Your car seats would feel rejuvenated before you knew they were tired. Convertible tops would be replaced with a touch of luxury, and every detail would be meticulously cared for by a specialist with over 30 years of experience. But Pat's isn't a spa. They're the experts in auto interior repair and restoration. Looking for your car because they totally dominate the market. Visit pats-bodyshop.com.
You'll taste it and love it.
It's time for Foster Hobbs Coffee Roasters. Their specialty roasted beans offer pure, rich flavor, avoiding the plastic. Foster Hobbs Coffee Roasters, because your day deserves the best start. Get to their roastery for expert care and advice at 205 Neal Place in High Point. If you can't get to the store, shop online anytime.
You'll taste it and love it.
At fosterhobbs.com.
Good morning, Triad, and welcome to the Daily Pulse with Steamin' Back.
Now you see me, now you don't want to talk, but I bet you won't.
Your front row seat to the voices, issues, and energy driving the Triad.
Let me calm down. Let me take it easy on, take it easy on.
Get ready to dive into the stories that matter most, the headlines shaping your day, the conversations everyone's having, and the local perspective you won't hear anywhere else.
Hold up, wait, breathe.
The Daily Pulse starts now on WSJS.
I don't know if you've heard, there is a blockade happening. The Strait of Hormuz may or may not be open as we speak. Gas is high at the pump. It's time that I feel like I needed to go on a crash course of military ops for dummies. And I'm hoping that I can try to shed some light on what's happening and take you along the ride with us on a new Daily Pulse here on WSJS. I'm Beck here. And joining us this morning, as always, Christian Snyder producing for us on WSJS and WSJS.com. 336-777-1600, our phone number, open to you at any point that you want to just call and say hello. Maybe call and get some Natalie Grant tickets. More of those that I would love to give away. Her concert, April 18th in Kernersville. And so we would love to share that with you. Or if you want to dive in on the Pulse Pick question of the day, which this one hits home with me. I'd still like to consider myself relatively young in the game, but I would lie if I didn't say I have high aspirations in the future to frequent dining establishments so often that my order is a given as soon as I walk through the door. I want to be a regular. I want to be somebody where everybody knows my name. You know, like a Cheers episode kind of deal.
I love it.
And I saw this tweet this morning. Somebody on X said, and this wasn't me, but I just, scrolling and saw this, and it really caught my attention. It said, quote, "Dude behind me at lunch ordered the usual, got hit back with, and that would be, has to be absolutely devastating." So our Pulse Pick question of the day: what's more devastating, that embarrassment that you would feel from that reaction, or the straight reality of a restaurant not knowing your usual order? 336-777-1600, phone number where, if you're a regular somewhere, I would love to know how you establish that. What's the experience been like? Feed me some of that knowledge this morning as I try to share with you something that I think I'm way in over my head with the Strait of Hormuz stuff, but I drink a lot of Foster Hobbs coffee this morning. I'm feeling like I'm up to it. So we're going to go there. First, though, let's get everybody rolling for their Tuesday with the latest headlines.
Pulse check. It's what's happening right now.
Here in our state, a man now is in custody after allegedly breaking into a woman's home in Roseboro, dousing her with gasoline and set her on fire. The victim did suffer severe burns over much of her body, was taken to a trauma center. Authorities tracked down that suspect shortly after. He now faces charges, including attempted murder and arson. Unseasonably hot weather is sweeping across our state. Temperatures nearly 90 degrees today, more of a chance of that tomorrow, far above normal for April. And a new state-backed report says that North Carolina may struggle to fully implement IRENA's law, a major reform tying mental health and the criminal justice system. Key issues include workforce shortages, lack of treatment capacity, and limited funding. In some of the nation's top headlines, we're going to really zone in on this U.S. and Iran conflict. Oil's going up and down, markets the same because a lot of uncertainties there. And I feel like it all boils down to almost like a really way more serious, more involved game of Battleship. Big bank earnings kick off amid economic uncertainty. Major banks, including JP Morgan, Citi, and Wells Fargo, just reported their quarter one earnings. Results were mixed, but consumer spending appears resilient despite inflation concerns. Coming up later today here on the Daily Pulse, we're going to have WD. He hosts The Drive every afternoon here on WSJS from 4 to 6 because the Charlotte Hornets had their last regular season game just a couple of nights ago and are now tonight in a play-in game trying to actually get into the playoffs. So we want his perspective on that. I know WD is a big-time Hive fan, really follows and covers the NBA well. Also, UNC basketball, speaking of hoops, they had a roller coaster of a day yesterday. So we'll give you a few of those headlines. And later, there's someone off of our North Carolina coast who had almost a 5-hour battle instead of using a Sea-Doo like most would, where they zoom all over the water and do jumps and all this kind of stuff. He was out fishing. And so we'll give you his thoughts. But this has been on my mind, I would say, going back a couple of weeks now. The Strait of Hormuz. I mean, how many times have I said those words? And you hear it on such a regular basis if you're anywhere around any type of news coverage right now. And I'm going to go on the record as saying in my 37 years of lifetime, before I would say the most recent months, I haven't thought of the Strait of Hormuz any more than, I don't know, the depths of Africa, the jungles afar. I mean, I just, it's not something that here in America, we're probably, unless you like geography and study maps and history and all that, and I'll be first to come forward and say, this is not my wheelhouse. This is not my expertise. But it intrigued me so much with these negotiations that we had this last weekend, where our United States contingent, including Vice President J.D. Vance, went to Pakistan, tried to sit face-to-face with some of the Iranian leadership and try to get some type of firm, solid agreement in place where this ceasefire could actually build off of. But it all centers back around a few things. And one of those that seems to be affecting me the most, I don't know about you, Christian, but our wallet certainly, is the Strait of Hormuz. Gasoline prices going up. That drives, everything else that you need gas to deliver, food items, I don't know, making plastic. I mean, everything takes some type of energy, and it just all drives, and it's very deep. So a little bit of the backstory real quick, just to put some context on this. Negotiations between the U.S. and Iran, they ended without a deal this last weekend. The temporary ceasefire still it's in place, but I would say it's kind of it's weak. The biggest thing that I would say our United States contingent, again, and I call it the group of Kushner and J.D. Vance, maybe some other delegates from our country went to Pakistan, had these table-to-table, face-to-face type meetings. They were there to get across a few red line items that we're not budging on. One is nuclear weapons. We're demanding Iran not to develop nuclear weapons. There's broader disagreements. Iran's missile program, support for regional militant groups. But then it comes back to, again, Strait of Hormuz, shipping routes, very critical and vital in this area. But unfortunately, J.D. Vance and that group left Pakistan without an agreement. Talks officially ended after 21 hours. And so shortly after that, I saw another, we'll say, new variable entered into these conflict happenings of a naval blockade. And it just furthered my question that I've had now for like 2 weeks. Why, with all the things that we can do, like shipping astronauts up and around the moon for the first time in over 50 years, why can we not get a grip on this and just open the Strait of Hormuz, whatever this area of water is, to where there's not a holdup anymore? There's no problems. Whatever it is, let's get this thing rectified and solved. I'm not a professional in this realm, so I had to do a deep dive on the internet. It's a deep dive for military op dummies here, kind of deal that I'm going to take you along the ride for. And if you can educate me, again, on your thoughts and feelings on this, I'm always open to that. 336-777-1600 or at Stephen Beck TO on X as well. Before I give you reasons as to why I feel like I've learned that it's not so easy just to, bomb something or to, police that area of the Strait of Hormuz where it's just open and no more problems. J.D. Vance was on Fox News, gave some perspective on his part in these conflict resolution conversations.
The only thing the Iranians have been able to do, they haven't, of course, beaten us militarily. They've had their military been decimated. They haven't been able to prosecute the case when it comes to weapons of war. What they have done is engage in this act of economic terrorism against the entire world. They basically threatened any ship that's moving through the Straits of Hormuz. Well, as the President of the United States showed, two can play at that game. And if the Iranians are going to try to engage in economic terrorism, we're going to abide by a simple principle that no Iranian ships are getting out either.
It makes sense. If they're going to block and muddy things up, well, yeah, two can play that game. What is that? It goes back to like my childhood. Anything you can do, I can do better. You heard that song before, Christian?
Oh, yeah. And it goes further back than your childhood. It goes back to like the 1940s.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Something like that.
I remember it something from like childhood videos, VHS tapes from way back.
I think it was also a commercial at one time too.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's what I'm kind of hearing J.D. Vance say there is like, okay, they've been blocking and keeping people from traversing through this water freely. Well, now we're going to police their ships and do basically the same thing. And in an essence, it may or may not be working. I've seen, different reports. I'm not here to give evidence of that. What I more or less wanted to figure out, and I'm going to toss this to you, Christian, because, I wouldn't say that you have a military background. Am I correct on that?
I have no military background.
And I wouldn't say that, neither you or I are like, some type of specialized, I'm hesitant. I don't want to say like theologian on this, but you know what I mean? Some kind of serious studied person that follows these military ops.
Special though.
Yeah, I would agree with that very much so. Well,
yeah, not really.
Would you believe it to say what I found out is the biggest problem isn't actually ships in that area.
Okay.
What I've found is Iran's most effective tool is naval mines. And I don't want to make light of anything like that could injure or harm someone. It's not, something frivolous that you just kind of slough off. But I would, to me, the only thing I can kind of correlate it to is like a game of Battleship.
Right.
You're sitting on the opposite side and you give like a coordinate on the little pegboard, B2, and it's, it's like strike or not.
Right.
You never know where they're going to pop up. You never know where they're going to be. And so what I found is naval mines is creating probably the most cautionary tale of opening up this Strait of Hormuz, because we have no idea where Iran's placed them. Iran isn't fighting a normal Navy war, according to the internet. They're asymmetric warfare, which is designed specifically to frustrate stronger military operatives. So, of course, the United States, we're dominant, when it comes to our military, but we're facing an enemy or opponent in this case that they just don't, in some ways, fight fair. Geography makes it worse. The strait is only about 20 to 30 miles wide at its narrowest, so shipping lanes get even narrower. Even after clearing out the mines that I mentioned already there, here's something else I didn't think about until some research in the internet helped me here. It can be remined. How frustrating is that?
It's kind of like, it makes me think of the Vietnam War with the guerrilla tactics.
Yeah.
It just water-based.
Right.
It's really sad.
Yeah. So it takes time, even for the United States. I'm somebody instant gratification. I've learned that here real quick as a fifth item. It's like, hey, you want to see it done yesterday. But these things, we got to be careful. We can't just move too fast, too quick and go, crazy here.
You're also dealing with people's lives too.
Right. Exactly. That's a good point. And the sixth item that I learned here, again, trying to do this deep dive on this, as we go to our break, the goal isn't just to open it, it's to keep it open. For this to be a long-term play, not just something, again, where, we get our gas prices lower tomorrow and everything's satisfied. So that, I hope that sheds some light and some intelligence for you this morning. It definitely made me feel a little bit better for my wonderings. Hey, coming up, if you're wondering about UNC basketball with their new head coach, Michael Malone, well, it was a big roller coaster day yesterday. We'll share that with you next on the Daily Pulse.
Once upon a time, there was no radios, so you had to read the news, which was informative, but lacked the thrill of a live debate. Then came national stations, which delivered news but missed the local pulse. And then came WSJS, your triad connection for news, talk, and sports. We're local, and we actually care about what matters to you. So stay informed and engaged right here in the triad with WSJS, where the triad comes to talk.
Avalon Express Lube and Service understands the road of life. They keep journeys smooth. They mend what wears down. They bring confidence back on the road. They provide peace of mind. They care for your vehicle. Avalon Express Lube and Service, your trusted partner in complete car care. Experience auto service that treats your car like it's their own. Avalon Express Lube and Service, Highway 66 in Carnersville. Service you trust, performance you feel.
In a world filled with uncertainty, one thing remains constant. Triad Baptist Christian Academy in Carnersville. Students flourish academically, spiritually, and personally. It's a partnership with families, nurturing hearts and minds since 2005. From preschool to high school, they prepare for futures with a biblical worldview, discovering their God-given potential. Triad Baptist Christian Academy, shaping lives for God's glory. Learn more at tbcnow.org.
Hungry for something fresh? Head to Bobo's Deli and Grill at 3478 Robin Hood Road. They serve the best crisp salads, hearty burgers, and deli sandwiches made with meats and cheeses sliced fresh in-house daily. Or try one of their made-to-order wraps packed with bold flavors and quality ingredients. And if you need catering for a party or meeting, large or small, Bobo's has got you covered. Come taste why locals love Bobo's Deli and Grill at 3478 Robin Hood Road beside the Robin Hood YMCA.
Looking for big flavor and a place the whole family will love? Head to East Coast Wings and Grill, your game day headquarters. With 50-plus bold wing flavors from mild all the way to insanity, there's a heat level for everyone. Not just wings, though. Enjoy burgers, wraps, salads, and more, all made fresh and packed with flavor. Bring the kids on Wednesdays after 3 p.m. Kids 10 and under eat free with an adult entree. Plus, check out weekday lunch specials Monday through Friday. Dine in, take out, or order online at your neighborhood East Coast Wings and Grill. Locally owned and operated. Big flavor, great family fun.
Hi, everyone. It's Brian Kilmeade. Join me this morning at 10 a.m. for a fresh take on the latest breaking news. You got sports, politics, and entertainment. On the Brian Kilmeade Show, me and my guests dive into lively debates. We have discussions that matter to you. So whether you're in your morning commute or just starting your day, tune in for a unique wake-up call. Your home for the Brian Kilmeade Show is WSJS and WSJS.com. Let's explore the stories that all Americans are talking about. See you at 10 a.m.
The Daily Pulse with Stephen Back, your daily connection to the heart, hustle, and headlines of the Triad.
Happy Tuesday morning to you. It's Beck here, back on the Daily Pulse on WSJS. Thanks for riding along with us this morning at WSJS.com, where you can jump into our springtime of winning. Great giveaways there. Just takes a couple minutes of your information. You have a solid chance of winning if you haven't in the past 30 days. I'll tell you one better. You just call us directly here at 336-777-1600, and you can get tickets to April 18th at 7 p.m. It's Bernie Herms, who I don't know, but joined by Natalie Grant.
Bernie's her husband.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I'm learning all sorts of things this morning. And can you tell I've had the coffee to do it? But that's at Triad Baptist Church Worship Center in Kernersville coming up. And we've got tickets that we want to continue to give away here on the Daily Pulse. So call now, 336-777-1600 if you have interest in going to that. We will have WD, who hosts The Drive here on the afternoons, 4 to 6, coming on next to talk with us about the Charlotte Hornets, who tonight have a big-time game to officially get into the playoffs. Right now, they're just in a play-in game. It'd be the first time that they actually make the playoffs since 2016. Also, in just a second, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The class was fully set and announced last night, so we'll share that with you. But first, UNC basketball yesterday had such an up and down roller coaster type of a day. I was like, man, I gotta share the wealth here and look at Michael Malone's first couple of days that he's had in Chapel Hill, because this time of the year, I would say, is hectic to begin with. Once the portal opened, really the same night that the national title game finished up, I gave some numbers on this late last week. It was either here on the Daily Pulse or Waking Up Proud, which you can hear 9 to 11. I can't remember my left from my right sometimes, but you got about 5,000 players of college basketball, to begin with. I think the numbers were roughly 2,000 graduated, left out of their eligibility. So that leaves 3,000 in the game right now. 2,000 of those decided to jump into the portal. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be the wild, wild west. And now the Tar Heels are seeing that up close and personal. Now, the first part of this is the good. Coming in for the Tar Heels, they picked up a pretty big addition yesterday. Nicholas Avdalis, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. May not be. He's a 6'9" guard from Virginia Tech. Pretty young guy, but he had 12.1 points per game. Only one of 5 ACC players with multiple 30-point games last year. Jaron Stevenson, I know I'm pronouncing that right. He's back for the Tar Heels, decided to stay in Chapel Hill to finish off his career in college basketball. He led the Tar Heels in plus-minus 8 times, which is tied most for the team on their roster this last year. Now comes kind of the bad, the hard. You kind of expected this, but Caleb Wilson did officially announce himself for the upcoming NBA draft yesterday, I should say. He had 17 games with 20 or more points, broke Tyler Hansborough's previous UNC record of 14 doing that, averaged about 20 points a game, first team All-ACC. Unfortunately, they injured his hand when trying to make a comeback and potentially could have played in the NCAA tournament. Had a great career as a Tar Heel. Also, Derek Dixon out, freshman point guard from the team this last year, headed to Arizona in the transfer portal. Luka Bogovac, man, I'm struggling with these Tar Heel international names this morning. But the truth is he's going to Oklahoma State now. And Dylan Mingo, who was a 5-star recruit, decommitted reopened his recruitment, the number 8 player in the 2026 recruiting class. So some good here, some bad. I think the best thing that you have to feel about is that you got a guy like Jaron Stevenson returning. That'll give you some type of stability. I know during the times when Vassar and Wilson were both injured this last year, he played a pretty critical role at times. You've got another elite scorer out of the ACC who's used to that competition coming over. And you already expected, you've seen what it's like to be without Caleb Wilson. So I don't think anything too vitally important changed with these outcomes yesterday. But it was a pretty big day. Coming up next, maybe we'll get some perspective on that from WD. Will Dalton, who hosts The Drive every afternoon from 4 to 6, going to join us to mostly talk about the Charlotte Hornets, but I know he's a UNC basketball guy as well, so we'll ask him about that. We'll give you the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame names a little bit later this next half hour as well, if you just stay with us on the Daily Pulse on WSJS.
Oh, man, I love baseball.
Swing into the Wings and Wins weekend with Wake Forest Baseball and East Coast Wings and Grill. From the first pitch to the last bite, you could win it all. Step up to the plate at WSJS.com and score like the Deeks with 2 tickets to each game in this weekend's series with NC State at the couch, plus a $100 gift card to East Coast Wings and Grill.
Let's play ball.
Don't miss your chance to cover all the bases. Register now at WSJS.com.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Piedmont Triad area weather. We finally have a little rain in the forecast. We also have a heat wave coming in. Plenty of sunshine today. Touch of a southwesterly breeze, our high upper 80s. Clear for the overnight hours, our low 60s. And some low 90s coming our way Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, too. Abundant sunshine during this time. Dry Saturday, the high 93. A chance for showers with a frontal system coming in Sunday. And our Sunday high low 80s. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. For News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.
Hi, this is Todd Starnes. Join me at 12 noon for the Todd Starnes Show as we dive into the latest in politics, faith, and culture news. You'll hear from top newsmakers and have the chance to share your thoughts.
Tell me something.
Don't miss out on the conversation that matters to you. Make the Todd Starnes Show your home for insightful discussions and lively debates on News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS, and WSJS.com.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Doug Eslett can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started by giving Doug Eslett a call at 336-477-6042 or visiting edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Jerry Hunt Supercenter, the king of pre-owned cars, is stocked up and ready for the madness in March. Jerry Hunt has more than 1,200 pre-owned vehicles and still adding. So many great cars to choose from. Let Jerry Hunt Supercenter help you make your slam dunk. Jerry Hunt Supercenter is your home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Check out their massive inventory at jerryhuntsupercenter.com or visit Jerry Hunt Supercenter, the king of pre-owned cars in Lexington and Salisbury.
Goodwill Industries of Northwest North Carolina is a nonprofit organization that has served the local community since 1926. Through the sales of donated items, they fund employment and training programs to help people find hope, opportunity, and jobs. Goodwill Industries has provided services to 26,000 people in the last year. The good they do is because of you. Goodwill Industries of Northwest North Carolina. Online at goodwillnwnc.org.
The Daily Pulse, the sound of the Triad, amplified. Your front row seat to the voices, issues, and energy driving the Triad. Back to the Daily Pulse with Stephen Back.
Let's get rolling. Another day, another dollar, hopefully. Thanks for being with us on the Daily Pulse, and I'm back with you, streaming on WSJS.com always, where we have our springtime of winning, but also a chance for you to swing into the Wings and Wins weekend with Wake Forest baseball and East Coast Wings. Step up to the plate right now at WSJS.com. Score like the Deeks do with 2 tickets to each home game this weekend and a gift card to East Coast Wings. Register now over at WSJS.com. In just a second, joining us will be WD from The Drive, talking Hornets, talking UNC basketball. First, though, let's get this half-hour reset for you.
1, 2, let's go.
Glad to hear this guy is off the streets now. When we read this story yesterday, caught me a little bit by surprise, and it's terrible. But a man is now in custody after allegedly breaking into a woman's home in Roseboro. He doused her with gasoline, set her on fire. Unfortunately, the victim there suffered severe burns over much of her body and was taken to a trauma center. The heat wave is here now. Unseasonably hot weather is sweeping across North Carolina with temperatures nearing 90 degrees, more likely tomorrow. A new state-backed report says North Carolina may struggle to fully implement Irina's Law, a major reform tying mental health and the criminal justice system, that is, together. Key issues include workforce shortages, lack of treatment capacity, and limited funding. In some nation's headlines, big bank earnings have kicked off. Resilient despite inflation concerns after the Q1 earnings reports that came out. And a potential mega airline merger surfaces. The CEO of United Airlines has reportedly floated a merger with American Airlines. Now joining us here on the Daily Pulse, happy to welcome in WD from The Drive, usually with you in the afternoons, 4 to 6 here on WSJS. What's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. About to hit the gym after this, but I'm fired up to talk some basketball. Let's do this.
I hear you, brother. You going to get all swole this morning or what?
We're going to do our best attempt at it. That's what we're going to try to do. And then we're going to try to put a good show on this afternoon from 4 to 6 right here on WSJS.
Of course. No, well, before we get to the basketball side of things, I have to ask you, after especially a strapping young lad like yourself going to the gym, what does a guy like you eat after, maybe it's pre-workout or after? I don't know.
So what I typically do is I'll have a protein shake of some kind, and then my breakfast. I'm pretty consistent. It's a little boring, but I mean it gets the job done.
Sure.
I like to do usually 2 or 3 eggs,
Okay.
and then I will typically throw that on a whole wheat tortilla wrap,
Mm.
and then put a little hot sauce on that, and then maybe an avocado, maybe
Oh,
a piece of fruit.
look
So
out.
I do the whole thing. If I don't do the tortilla wrap though, I might switch over to oatmeal though instead. It really just depends on my mood, Stephen.
I hear you. No, well, it's what they call that the Grand Slam breakfast, I think, at some places. And the reason why I tipped you up on that is we have a pulse pick question this morning because of a tweet I saw on social media. Somebody had shared that they were in line at a lunch establishment and somebody behind them ordered the quote usual and got hit with the question back from the wait staff. And that would be like they didn't know what the usual was. And so I feel like this person sharing it on Twitter did that's kind of devastating. For me, in my future happenings, I would love to be somebody where when I walk in somewhere, if I get the eggs and the what did you say it was? A wheat wrap of some kind
a tortilla wrap.
Tortilla wrap with
Yeah.
avocado. I want them to know, like, oh, well, that's Beck. He gets the usual kind of deal. Are you?
It makes you feel good.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
makes
yeah.
you feel good to walk into a place and just like, hey, give me what I get, and
That's
they
right.
do it for it. It makes you feel good.
Yeah, I want my order already like being made as I come through the door, kind of deal.
Totally.
Well, what I wanted to know is your thought process when it comes to the Charlotte Hornets, because I know in my time hanging with you, you're a big NBA guy to begin with. I know that you're a part of the Hive, Buzz City. You love the Charlotte Hornets, and they have really, in this stretch from January to now, they won 17 of their last 21 road games, ending the regular season. They've got a play-in game tonight against the Heat that would finally get them into the playoffs for the first time since 2016. So I feel like you, along with Charles Barkley, maybe, were pretty positive on these guys early. What do you make of all this?
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because Charles Barkley the other day on Inside the NBA was saying that the Heat have a whooping coming. That's the way he described it. Nah, man, it's a pretty cool deal. Forget whatever happens in the play-in game. Just looking at the way we got here, like this was a Hornets team that was once like 4-14 to start the year. Like this year started kind of the way Hornets seasons go. Like people were getting hurt. Brandon Miller got hurt in game number 2. LaMelo Ball got hurt early on in the year multiple times with his ankle. And it started to feel like, oh boy, here we go again. But when the calendar flipped to 2026, slowly but surely, the Hornets became one of the best teams in the NBA statistically, like by the numbers. Like there was no disputing that, and especially on the offensive side of the ball. And then it started to build to a point where, this isn't just a random week-long stretch of them playing well. This is actually they're starting to turn the corner here, and I think a big part of that was Con Knipple coming on, and you could kind of see what he was about at Duke. And he was able to bring a lot of that to the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball, I believe, played 72 games this year, which is the most he's played, I think, in his career. It certainly was since his rookie year. And to see the Hornets in the play-in mix, given how they started the year, it's pretty impressive. And it makes you think, man, where would they be if they started the year in this way? They wouldn't be a play-in team. They'd be like, a 4 or a 5 or something like that. But big game tonight for the Hornets.
Well, so I want to ask you, do you quantify this then as a success? It sounds like you would, no matter win, lose, or draw tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it would be disappointing if they lost just because it's like you built to get to this point. But I guess it really depends. If they did lose tonight, it would depend on the manner in which they lost. Like if it's a high-flying game and it just goes down to the wire and they just don't happen to come out on the right side of it, it would be disappointing, obviously, to a lot of Hornet fans. But there's no way you look at this season as a failure on any level. Regardless of what happens tonight, this season is not a failure. A massive success for the organization. The Greensboro Swarm, to go even deeper than that, just won the G League title over the weekend, sweeping the Stockton Kings. It's the best season in their franchise's history. And the Swarm, the Hornets won the Summer League title. So it's like there's one more to get here. There's one more to get, Steven, to get the trifecta. Get it done. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll give the credit where it's due. I mean, they're definitely building something here. You can tell that.
Yeah.
You had mentioned Con Knipple. Of course, he now holds a record. Most three-pointers made by a rookie in a single NBA season. Broke a record held by Keegan Murray. Are we all in agreement here that it's pretty much a lock he'll be Rookie of the Year?
No, I don't think it's a lock because I think the league wants to give it to Cooper Flagg.
Wow.
I think they do.
Well,
Now,
can
I
you
don't
make
know
a case for that?
because his numbers, I believe, on paper are better than Khan's. And he's put together some of these games here at the end of the year, like dropping 50 and 49 or whatever it was. Now part of that is that here late in the season, the amount of shots that Cooper Flagg has been the Mavericks have been getting him the ball intentionally to get him some production. And that's led to a lot of these empty calorie numbers meanwhile, Khan is putting up incredible numbers with the Hornets, like veteran-like numbers, but he's impacting winning in a way and getting to the postseason and changing the culture of a franchise in a way that I'm not so sure Cooper Flagg is. In fact, he's not. Now, maybe he will later down the road,
right?
But Con Knipple is affecting the culture and getting to the postseason. And I happen to think that's a bigger deal than just, hey, you got a whole bunch of points because they just gave you the ball, but it doesn't mean anything because you're tanking. So that's really what the argument comes down to. Which of those you prefer, the voters prefer. So it's not a lock, but my money's on Con Knipple. I'll still go down with that.
WD from The Drive joining us here on the Daily Pulse. You can hear him later this afternoon, 4 to 6 here on WSJS. Before, WD, we let you get back to picking things up and putting them down. I wanted to know your thoughts on the roller coaster type of day that the UNC Tar Heels had yesterday. Mike Malone, of course, new coach there. And just as you would expect, this time of the calendar year, a lot of things happen in one swoop of a time. Are those all things kind of expected or any big surprises for you yesterday?
I don't know if it was really a surprise, but Dylan Mingo, the number one point guard recruit in the 2026 class, he reopened his recruitment yesterday. Now, the way it's being phrased is that UNC, like Inside Carolina, the way they reported it is that UNC has decided to part ways with five-star point guard Dylan Mingo. So maybe that's a little surprising, but maybe it's not, because I think Michael Malone's out there he's got his own players that he's looking at trying to bring in. I know there was a guard in there. I think Terrence Brown is his name, that is from Utah, and I think there's a good chance he's going to commit to Carolina. So that may have been a big reason why they decided to part ways with Dylan Mingo. Obviously, I'm fascinated by the Juke Harris stuff to bring it close to home here, with Wake Forest and everything. Michigan's in the mix, Tennessee's in the mix, Carolina obviously is in the mix. So it's been a roller coaster ride, but Jaron Stevenson coming back yesterday, that should be very exciting to all Carolina fans out there. But it's going to be fun to watch what happens.
Yeah, I don't want to read between the tea leaves too much, but maybe the Mingo deal sheds some positive light for Tar Heel fans with the Juke Harris stuff. Never know. Hey, before we let you run, what's coming up this afternoon on The Drive?
So we're going to be joined in studio by John Dell of the Winston-Salem Journal.
Nice.
He was out at Augusta all week last week. And he joined us last week ahead of the Masters to kind of preview it. But with Rory McIlroy going back to back, he made it interesting in that in the back nine there in the final round, but he got it done. We're going to talk to John Dell about that and, just get some of the interesting tidbits and nuggets from out at Augusta. And, of course, we will be previewing the Heat and the Hornets tonight.
Perfect, man. Well, we appreciate you joining us this morning and helping us do that as well. And, of course, we'll be tuning in later this afternoon. Have a good rest of the day, though.
We'll catch you later.
That was WD, host of The Drive. You can hear him later this afternoon, 4 to 6, and I'm sure he'll be eagerly awaiting that tip-off later tonight between the Charlotte Hornets, Miami Heat. As we go to our break, coming back, some Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stuff, and also we hope we get to a big-time tuna on the back of a Sea-Doo. That's next. This is the Daily Pulse on WSJS.
Springtime winning on WSJS is a time to explore and discover fresh prizes, fresh starts, and a chance to bloom big. Make every moment a winner by scoring tickets to the hottest concerts, thrilling races, or your favorite team's game. Spring brings the bling, and winning is just a click away at WSJS.com. We're not just blooming, we're booming with fresh prizes at WSJS.com.
The resurrection of Jesus Christ and the next great event in history.
This is True Commentary with Stu Epperson, author and host of Truth Talk Live.
In 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 14, Paul connects Christ's resurrection with the next great event in human history, and that is the return of the King. That's right. Jesus Christ is coming back. He not only busted out of that grave and conquered death, he's coming back to bring life with him. Not as a cuddly little baby. He's not coming back as a Galilean teacher or rabbi or as a suffering servant. He's coming back as a crowned king who will bring judgment to those who don't know him, and he will bring ultimate salvation and glory to those who are eagerly awaiting his return. Are you ready for the return of the King? He came out of that grave and he's coming again. It's time to be ready and tell everyone the good news that the King is coming.
Join Stu on radio, social media, and his daily Truth Talk Live podcast. Learn more at truthnetwork.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Hi, I'm Jay Delsing, a two-time All-American and PGA Tour veteran of 25 years. I know the game of golf inside and out. Each week, we'll feature celebrity golfers, share their laughs, inside stories, and offer great tips to improve your golf game.
I wanna swing, don't you wanna swing with me?
Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Winston-Salem, proudly serving our community for over 50 years. That's Golf with Jay Delsing, Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. on WSJS.
The Daily Pulse with Stephen Back. Your front row seat to the voices, issues, and energy driving the triad forward.
It's the Daily Pulse, and I'm back here on WSJS. Thanks for being with us at Stephen Beck TO, my ex, that you can follow along with me, or at WSJS Radio, where you can always get into our Pulse Pick question of the day. We put up little video teasers of what we're going to be talking about before the show and that kind of thing. Plus, I'll tell you what, I should have already mentioned this, but the Daily Pulse is up on podcasts now. So if you've some reason miss a part of it, all you got to do is go onto any major podcasting platform, Apple, Spotify, whatever, Podchaser, all those different ones, and search the Daily Pulse, and you can find that there. Want to rock out a little bit this morning. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 26 was announced yesterday. The inductees firm here now. Phil Collins, Billy Idol, Iron Maiden, Joy Division, Oasis, Sadie, I think, actually, excuse me, Luther Vandross, and Wu-Tang Clan. 8 of them inducted. First-time nominees inducted, the Wu-Tang Clan and Luther Vandross, with the ceremony coming up in November at Peacock Theater in Los Angeles. All these will be honored then, but I need to know more than just the names. I always need to know the songs. With our time remaining here, Christian, hit me up with a few of these just so I can feel a little bit of something special from whoever all these people are on this list.
One of the big ones from Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight.
Yeah, I'd say that one's, I don't know where I hear it the most, if it's a sporting event or a TV show, like something that's got.
You'll hear it at the gym too. It's one of those as well. Here's the next one, Billy Idol, Rebel Yell.
I'm going to say that's what I want our bump music to be like. Like that is, I know it's early and everybody's just kind of trying to get rolling for the day, but that gets me amped.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Iron Maiden is up next with The Trooper.
You'll take my life, but I'll take yours too. You fire musket, but I'll run you through. So when you're waiting for the next attack, you better stand, there's no turning back.
I don't know about the vocals there or how he has them after he does that, but I would say the guitar picking or whatever you call that there, I'm not a musician, you can clearly tell.
The riff, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
I agree 100%. Next, Joy Division, a.k.a. or with New Order, Blue Monday.
Are you a Joy Division guy?
It's not my favorite, but it makes me think of You Spin Me Right Round.
Yeah, but have you heard that song before?
I haven't heard that one in a long time.
I don't know that I know that one. Okay, what else we got?
Oasis, Wonderwall.
There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how.
Sing it with me, Christian. Come on. Yeah, baby. You're gonna. Yeah, dude, I mean, it's perfect. All right, well, we'll leave you with that. As you can tell, my pulse is racing after that. That felt so good, Christian. I'm going to tell you. We're excited to have you back with us. New Daily Pulse tomorrow at 9. We'll have our finger on it until then. Just stay right where you're at, though. More with Brian Kilmeade and others following us here on WSJS.
Feel the